So just to give you an idea of what we're going through, just going to have a quick look at what the courses are, break the courses down a bit, give you some finance info. There will be a bit of talking at you and lots of discussion, but we're also going to do some little interactive tasks so you can actually have a bit of a taster of the subjects as well. I will very briefly go through residential and non-residential, then finance in terms of that. As I say, some subject tasters. Paul's going to take us through social sciences and UCAS. I'm going to do something with history and literature. If you want to then book an advice and guidance session with our admissions team, you'll be able to do that, and how to apply for the course, and then any questions. So this is kind of the running order that we're going to have. So they're the two courses we offer. The social sciences and social science runs through both courses, and then you've got humanities on one side and health on the other. So just to give you a bit of info, please do put questions in the chat if needed, or turn your mic on, give me a little wave and you can talk as well. Please don't feel you've got to be silent. So I've just jotted down some careers that would be relevant. There are others. Paul, tell me if you agree with this. So social science, the kind of careers we see our students go into: psychology, political science, criminology. Humanities, we've got modern languages, history, philosophy, literature, media. And then when we look at health, we have things like paramedics, social work, which also through social sciences you can do that, physiotherapy, midwifery, etc. So the first thing to do for yourself is to really think about what career you'd like to do. Okay, so just to give you an idea of the course, we have the access to social sciences and humanities, and in there will be elements of literature, history, some film and media. Then we have the access to health. I'm just going to grab something on here. Where is it? Spotlight. We have the access to health here, and that would have like health studies, social health studies, biological science, those kind of areas. So they're the different elements in terms of the two courses. This part here is in both courses. So whilst you'll have literature, history, film, media, etc. in social sciences and humanities, you will then have social sciences subjects, psychology, sociology. You do a criminology unit, don't you, Paul? So, and Paul will tell you more about that in detail when we do the taster. Both subjects have study skills, so essay writing, development, referencing, research, planning, all of that kind of stuff. So we also deliver lessons specifically to develop you there. And then Paul is our UCAS lead as well. So there's the UCAS element for applying for university. So just giving you that kind of visual breakdown hopefully makes it a little bit clearer of, okay, yeah, that one actually is more relevant, or that one. So as Paul said, I'll send this PowerPoint as well to you, and you'll be able to, when you do your research, refer back if needed, just so you kind of can really compare once researching courses. Actually, should it be in humanities or should it be and health? Are there any questions about that before I move on? No? Okay. It's all right, I can't move on anyway. Okay, so the course is a full-time course, Monday to Friday. Now I've put a sample timetable there. You won't necessarily be in lessons every day, all day, but what is expected is a large amount of independent study as well. As Paul's mentioned, this course is very intense. So a part-time course would be 2 years. A generic full-time course would be a year. So we're a fast-track course, which makes it even shorter. So we are 30 weeks, which is a lot shorter. It's fast-track and the turnaround is very fast. We give the support needed. So we have a support provision in work, at the college, sorry, where needed. And we also obviously have us guys, and we develop your skills and everything. But just to let you know, you really are, the intention is to really focus on this course. So if you do have a job or anything like that, we wouldn't say quit your job or anything like that, but just to be aware that your focus really needs to be on the course, and the turnaround for submitting work and stuff like that is quite fast. Not to scare you off, because there's nothing to say that you can't do that at all. And there's nothing to say that we won't support you to do that. We see learners do it every year, but you've got to really mean business. The course starts on the 19th of October, so that's both courses. They start on the same date and ends in June, early June. You'll have Easter off, you'll have Christmas off, and 2 half terms. The 2 half terms are study weeks though, so you will still be expected to do some work from that perspective. Timetable wise, what we've got planned this year is for a couple of subjects to run together and study skills, and then the opportunity to do maths and English as well at that point. But what we also have on offer this year is if you do need maths and English, is in September, we're going to be doing a fast track maths and English provision for level 2. So if that's something you're interested in, almost like a late summer school where it's just really intensive delivery to support you to get your level 2 maths and English at that point. When you are looking and researching courses and they do say you need maths and English, just check that they're happy with an equivalent of functional skills, just to make sure that that would be something that they would accept. But again, Paul will tell you more about that when he does the UCAS part. Any questions about that?
Yes, I have.
No problem.
For the course, sorry, the Humanities and Social Science High Access, do we need maths and English to get on that one?
No, so what would happen is from this point, you would apply to the course. You don't have to have maths and English at this point, but you would do an assessment to show us that you're at the right level to study.
Okay.
So it's a written piece where we give you a written article and we ask you to comment on it, and then a small maths assessment. So that would be explained to you at further point. And then at that point, we would be able to see if you're ready. If you're not, we actually do a pre-access, and a couple of our lovely people here have done the pre-access already. So tell it to them, guys.
Yeah, yeah, lovely, thank you.
Okay, lovely.
Yeah.
Okay, so just got some examples of assessments. So we've got quite a variety: essays, booklets, presentations, commonplace books, seminars, etc. It's just to give you an idea that it's quite the variety, and they all mirror what you get at university. So alongside subject development and subject development for your area you want to move on to work, there is also a lot of skills development that's embedded in the delivery and delivered separately as well. And you'll get samples of all of this kind of stuff just to show you how it works. So I'm going to give you, this is kind of the bit that is interesting because it's about the money, but also the bit that I'm just going to be talking at you, but please interrupt me at any point. What I won't do is give information that's individualised at the Mo. I'll give you the overview. You can think about, is that you? And then at that point, you'll be able to have an individual conversation with our admissions team. Because the last thing I want is for you to be sitting here telling me about your income and your financial situation. It's totally not appropriate and unfair on you. But just to let you know, you will have the opportunity to discuss that individually with somebody. So the course costs £2,950, and you are able, one way or another, to get that funded. So there are 2 different options. So this is just now, have a little think and identify which one you potentially are. So I'm just going to get that out of my way, Emma. Okay, so if you are 19 to 23, the Access course is your first level 3 course. The government should fund your course. Okay, so if that's you, then that is pretty much what will happen. If you're 24, so if you are 24 or older, or 19 to 23, and you've already completed a level 3 course and had it funded, then you can apply for what's called a government educational loan and advanced learner loan. So this covers the cost of the tuition fees, and then if you go on and you complete your degree within a certain time frame, you don't have to pay this back. So whilst you'd be paying your uni fees back, this one, if you pass the degree, so not if you start a course, but if you pass it, this will be cancelled. So just have a think which one you are there. And there's an email address at the bottom. for you to, if you want to jot that down. And if I, in fact, let me just pop that back up, but not as a presentation, and I'll put it in the chat for you as well. I'm just going to open the chat feature. So I'll copy and paste this in there now for you. So this is a really great place to start. It has things like calculators on there, a lot of info that just really looks at your personal situation. But as I say, there's lots of advice in one-to-ones. So on the chat feature, I'll put that link there for you. You're welcome, Clodagh. Okay. So hopefully you've kind of got an idea who you are from that perspective. So then we have, I'm going to keep it like this for now. Then we have two options. So there's two courses, and then on those two courses, there's two options. There's the non-residential, so you're living at home, and there's the residential, you live in the college. Excuse me. Now, there is a difference between the provision here. If it's the non-residential course, if it's the course where you live at home or you live outside of the college, it's a blended provision. So you will have some classroom time, and some of it will be online, where you will access recorded sessions or receive delivery online. So if it's the residential option and you live at the college, it's generally all classroom based. So there is a difference between this provision, and that really is about what would work. If you're living at the college, it's quite easy to come and do classroom because you're there, you walk around the corner, you're in the class. If you're living outside, because of the situation we're currently in, and we don't know the changeability of it, etc., we've done it so that there would be some classroom, but then some you would do it from home. So alongside who am I financially in terms of paying for the loan, paying for the course, have a little think about who am I home-wise. Do I want to be a non-resident? Do I want to be a resident? Now, funding-wise, we would suggest that if you felt that you may be a little bit short in terms of your income, that maybe a little part-time job or something might be useful. But we would also say that you have to be careful so that you have a balance there. So if I move on to, in terms of residential as well, so you have a room, your core bills are paid, your water, your electric, your gas, all those kind of things, ensuite bathroom usually, your meals are provided. So, and there are slightly different, the residential experience is slightly different in terms of the extracurricular to the non-residential experience as well. Okay, any questions about that before I move on?
No.
Lovely. Okay, so this is the bursary support part. So I've just talked about paying for the course. What does the course cost? This is how it gets funded. So this bit is all about the bursary, which is an additional payment you could be entitled to. So this has changed this year. So this is the details I've been given, but again, you can have a one-to-one discussion here because it'd be so much better for you to really know what's what for yourself. When it comes to things like benefits or additional income, it's really good to talk to those outside organisations as well. Even beforehand, this is what I'm thinking of doing. This is what the bursary would be. This is the number of hours I'd be in college. So it is a full-time provision. Based on that, can you tell me, will I still receive benefits? Will I get housing benefit? How does it affect child benefit, etc., etc.? So they're all questions that you would need to kind of gather the answers for to get that collective idea. So if your income is below 17,000 for a single person or 29,000 for a joint income, you can apply for the bursary. So if you're outside of that, if you are earning more than 17,000 as a single person or a joint income of more than 29, you are unable to apply for the bursary. If you're inside of that, you can apply. Now, this then differs depending on if you're a resident or a non-resident. Please stop me at every point to ask any question if you're unsure, or pop something in the chat. So if you choose to be a resident, not only do we have the different residential experience and that the delivery is slightly different, we also have some differences. So the bursary will pay for your accommodation, meals and bills. So that's covered in application for the bursary whilst you're studying at the college. You will also, in addition, receive a £500 bursary overall, not £500 a month, £500 bursary that then gets paid monthly. So you're talking 30 weeks. Oh God, how many falls in 30? 28, 7, 8 months. So that's 500 split over 7 to 8 months, I think. Don't teach maths, can you tell? We would also support with books and equipment as well. So if you need any books, for instance, Paul's Bible for sociology, is it Paul?
The big Harl Ambus book, the big blue thing. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's all funded. So this has changed for us as well, guys. So me and Paul are just learning some of this as well. So any books, so on literature, you would have texts. For example, we did Kite Runner last year, Rabbit Proof Fence, so you would have text there. So all of those, equipment and trips, that all comes under there. If you choose to be a non-resident, you can apply for support to travel to college. So remember, this is all based on this income-based bit at the top. So travel expenses potentially. There's a £1,000 bursary to support you whilst you are studying, and that again is paid monthly. So that's 7-8 months, for 1,000 split across that. Again, we would support you with books, equipments and trips. Childcare is also available for students that are eligible if it's a registered provider. So there's quite a difference there depending on who you are and what your needs are. And we do have to make the statement that financial awards are subject to terms and conditions. So whilst I've told you all of that, and that is where we stand at the moment, individually, it's always a different story because you're always different people, which is wonderful. We love diversity and you always have different situations. Are there any questions at that point?
No.
Okay, as I say, if anything's been generated in your mind and it's more personal to yourself, make a note of it, because you can then have that discussion with our admissions advisor. Okay, no problem, Clodagh. So, as I say, you'll be able to have a one-to-one discussion there. Okay, so I'm going to hand you over to Paul, who's probably going to do a blooming brilliant social science taster and then make me look an absolute plonker with mine, because he's a fantastic tutor. So away you go, Paul.